Hey, and welcome to CBR. Today, we're diving into 9 Marvel comic facts nobody realizes about Moon Knight, since they were not included in the miniseries on Disney+. Let's see how many of these you already know.
But be careful out there. This world is unpredictable.
Moon Knight started as a Werewolf by Night villain. Moon Knight made his debut as a villain in Werewolf by Night number 32 in 1975. Mark Spector was a mercenary hired by the Secretive Committee to capture Jack Russell, the werewolf. Moon Knight was a powerful antagonist and one who has also had a connection to the moon, but by the following issue, number 33, he shows signs that he's seeking redemption. Instead of fulfilling his contract, Moon Knight chose to flip sides and save Jack Russell in the end. Marvel initially intended for Moon Knight to be a one-off antagonist neutralized, but fans responded positively to the character. Recognizing his potential, Marvel started integrating Moon Knight into other series. He soon appeared in The Hulk, The Spectacular Spider-Man, and shared a 2-in-1 crossover with The Thing from the Fantastic Four. These appearances gradually built his reputation as a character who could stand on his own, leading to the launch of his first solo series in 1980. Although the adaptation changed several key aspects of the character's canon lore.
What's this? What is that pose for?
The Midnight Mission. In more recent comics, starting with Moon Knight Volume 9, Number 1 in 2021, Moon Knight operates out of the Midnight Mission. It's a neighborhood help center in New York City that serves as his headquarters. The Midnight Mission is an important symbol of his role as a protector of those in the streets at night, offering a sanctuary for those in need. This base of operations reflects his connection to the Egyptian moon god Khonsu and his mission to safeguard the vulnerable, which he continues to do even in times he is away from the god. The existence of the Midnight Mission wasn't mentioned at all in the TV show, which focused more on a reimagination of Stephen Grant. It also mostly featured Mark's inner journey and the experience of his dissociative identity disorder, rather than his external infrastructure and affiliations.
Alright, do it. Take control. For now.
The original depiction of the alter egos. Well, the TV show links the Mr. Knight costume to Stephen Grant specifically, only appearing when he summons the suit. It doesn't work like that in the comics. Mr. Knight is one of Moon Knight's distinct alter egos, characterized by his white suit and his role as a detective. He is more talkative and strategic than how Moon Knight usually acts, being a tame version to the otherwise violent mercenary. Mr. Knight is not Stephen Grant's Moon Knight, but simply another tool used by Mark Spector, who's the main personality. The Disney Plus series has a more psychological approach to his dissociative identity disorder, in which Mark Spector controlled the personalities and made them come out whenever necessary. Stephen Grant is originally the millionaire businessman personality Mark would use when he needed his elite status, while Jake Lockley is the violent cab driver with street connections. Moon Knight in the comic can use these identities strategically, allowing Mark to operate in different social spheres to gather information or resources.
We won!
Mark's Spector past and the origin of Moon Knight. Before becoming Moon Knight, Mark was a skilled soldier for hire, undertaking dangerous missions around the world. His origin story is told in the first Moon Knight comic from 1980. In one of his missions, in Egypt, Mark was betrayed by his employer and left for dead at an ancient tomb in the desert. But Khonsu witnesses that and decides to save his life. The moon god brings Mark back to life and grants him powers in exchange for his service as the god's earthly avatar. While the show briefly mentions Mark's past, it doesn't fully explore Moon Knight's origin in a moment of betrayal and near death by Mark's former associate. This omission leaves out a key part of what drives Mark's sense of loyalty to Khonsu.
You are worth protecting.
I'll do whatever it takes then.
Moon Knight's relationship with other heroes. In the comics, Moon Knight mainly works solo, but has occasionally been an ally to the Avengers. Although he's never been an official member of the main Avengers setup, his affiliation with the Avengers is highlighted in West Coast Avengers Volume 2, Number 33 from 1988. He's also recruited by Steve Rogers to be a part of the Secret Avengers, a Black Ops unit from the titular 2010 series. However, his membership is often marked by tension due to the unpredictable nature of his mental condition. The MCU is choosing to keep Moon Knight separate from the other heroes in the franchise for now, but he definitely has the potential to be included in crossovers, including Avengers Secret Wars. He's seen in several major events in the comics, including ones already adapted into the MCU, like Civil War. One of his main affiliations is with Ben Grimm, the Thing of the Fantastic Four, with whom he has a friendship since their unexpected team-up in the 70s. With the new Fantastic Four set to debut in the MCU, there will be yet another potential connection to Moon Knight.
I'm Batman.
Moon Knight is like Batman. In the comics, Moon Knight is essentially Marvel's version of Batman. He's accumulated a lot of money through his work as a mercenary and smart investments. In comparison, Iron Man may be a millionaire, but doesn't match DC's Batman as a dark persona that acts in the nighttime, just like Moon Knight. The changes to this aspect for the TV show were probably made to avoid some confusion with DC's iconic Dark Knight. And as we've mentioned earlier, Stephen Grant isn't a mild-mannered museum gift shop employee in the comics, but the personality of Mark Spector, who's the smart businessman.
It belongs to me.
Moon Knight is basically immortal. Because he serves as Khonsu's avatar, Mark Spector has been resurrected multiple times, seemingly granting him a form of eternal life. This connection to Khonsu ensures that Mark can continue his mission as long as the god wills it. This element is touched upon in his origin story and later expanded in the first issues of Moon Knight Volume 5 in 2006. While his durability is clear in the Moon Knight series, the adaptation never directly addresses this as immortality.
And we did just save your life, so you're welcome for that.
The phases of the moon influence Moon Knight's powers. In the comics, Moon Knight's powers fluctuate based on the phases of the moon. During a full moon, his powers get to their all-time high levels. This lunar connection underscores his mystical bond with Khonshu and sets him apart from other heroes who rely solely on training or technology. The Disney Plus series does not emphasize this aspect of his powers. While Mark's connection to Khonshu is central to the story, the influence of the moon's phases on his abilities is left unexplored.
But admittedly kind of impressive.
The moon does not seek to impress.
Moon Knight can create zombies? Part of his connection to Khonshu entails being able to raise the dead. This is what happens in the Age of Khonshu storyline, which was told through Mark Spector's perspective and started in Avengers Volume 8, number 33, and ended in number 37 in 2020. In this storyline, Moon Knight turns against the Avengers and subdues them so they will obey his idea on how to defeat Mephisto, as Khonshu believes to know the best way to protect Earth. This is not exactly what happens in the show, but the Age of Khonshu storyline probably inspired Marvel Studios to make Khonshu a secret antagonist by the end. Do you think the MCU will eventually explore these aspects of the hero from the comics? Let's discuss in the comments below. Until next time, thanks for watching CBR.